On the phone with me right now on the 1045theteam.com podcast, the Shenendehowa graduate Branden Cogswell. Branden, last year you were a 7th-round pick of the Oakland A's. We haven't talked to you since the draft. How you been?
Everything's been going good, It was a busy year since, after the draft. But, I've been home and enjoyed my time home. So it's excited to get going for my first full season, at the professional level.
What are your expectations going into your first spring training? You're on your way down there right now. You're reporting early, getting some extra work in. Always good. What are your expectations for your first spring?
I put in a lot of hard work this offseason, starting when I went down to Instructs and kept it going through the winter. I'm just excited to start my full year, first full year. I'd love to be in California playing at High A, but ultimately that's out of your control. You just go out and you play your kind of game, and you'll be placed where you'll be placed. And, like I said, it's out of your hands. But all you can do is just go out there and give it 100% and work hard and do what you do on the field.
Last year, you helped take Virginia all the way to the national championship. So you play a bunch of games in college. Then you immediately get drafted and go and immediately play 40 games at full season A-ball. How exhausted were you by the end of the season last year?
I was exhausted. I was really exhausted. I wouldn't lie to you, but that's what I guess being home and taking really a month off of everything to let the body kind of recover. It's just a lot more travel than I'm used to. Ultimately you're played, say, 120 games, but it was 120 games in such a short period of time is what gets you, and then traveling really across the country and back a couple times. So I was just tired from the travel and kind of going from place to place, time zone to time zone. But ultimately, the off season is what you need to recover, and I'm just ready to get going.
Did such the short turnaround between the college season and pro ball, did that hurt your adjustment at all? A lot of the guys that were drafted in the same class as you, a lot of those guys went to short season A-ball. They had a month between their college season and A-ball. They had time to work out, readjust to the wood bat, things like that. Did your quick turnaround, did that hurt your adjustment to pro ball at all?
It might have. But ultimately, the pro level, you're making adjustments day to day. Obviously, I wasn't able to get my feet wet, but I kind of got thrown into the fire. But I wouldn't have traded that in for anything else. I got to experience, a childhood dream and playing in Omaha, and then continue the childhood dream and play professionally. But ultimately, it was kind of an eye-opening experience, knowing the kind of level that you got to play at and the kind of level that you have to play to succeed at whatever level you're going, and being able to adjust day to day, pitch by pitch, to continue to move on and play as high as you can.
What was the biggest adjustment going from college to pro ball? Was it the wood bat? Was it pitch recognition? Was it just playing with different coaches? What was the biggest adjustment you faced?
I'd say it was the pitching. Pitchers being able to locate on both sides of the plate and being able to locate 3-4 pitches wherever they want. In college you get pitched the same way for 3 years and you get used to that. But then, you go play pro ball and you're hit with something new. So I wouldn't say it was a wood bat. I'd say it was just being able to adjust really, I wouldn't say a full swing, but really adjust your swing to how you're being pitched and being able to stretch it from day to day and waking up and playing every single day. It's a grind. People may say, hey, you don't got classes, or hey, you don't got homework to do, but you are out there all day, every day, practicing and then having a game on top of it. So it is a long grind. It is a long day. Every day is a long day. So just being able to go out there, adjust, and give everything you got on whatever day it is.
So you played primarily shortstop at Virginia, moved to second base as a junior. The A's take you, they move you back to shortstop. They put you in full season A-ball rather than going to the New York Penn League, which I know disappointed a lot of local fans that wanted to see you play at the Joe for the Vermont Lake Monsters. But it must be nice for you to know that the A's think so highly of you, to move you back to a position that you played your first year as a starter in college, and then to bump you up a level higher than people expected.
Yeah, I was ecstatic. Obviously I would have loved to come home and play in front of the home crowd, but whenever you can jump a level, you need to take full advantage of that. And even though I struggled a little bit, it was kind of like I said, it was an eye-opening experience, and knowing how locked in I have to be every pitch to succeed at that level so I can make it to the next level.
Is there one guy when you get to spring training, it is your first spring, is there one guy who you want to spend some time with, whether it be a certain coach, whether it be is there an infielder whose brain you want to pick if you get the chance?
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time in instructs with Brett Boone and Eric Martins, who played in the A system for a while. You know, they kind of helped me a lot through that month I was there. Brett Boone kind of tells you all the funny stories of Major League Baseball and what it takes to get there. But, you know, I got close with them through instructs through the month or month and a half that I was down there this fall. You know, I just would love to continue that relationship in the long, you know, and I'm just excited to go out and play with the guys in my draft class or the guys who I played with in Beloit. So I'm just excited to see all of them again. It's been 6 months since I've seen them, and, you know, it's a great group of guys, great group of coaches who really know what to do to get you to the next level.
Branden, we asked you about this right before the draft. I'll ask you again. Obviously, we're talking to a bunch of all the Section 2 guys that are at spring training are right on their way. We've talked to 4 of them already. We got a couple more coming next week. When you sit back and think about it, now that you had a chance to be home for a little while and kind of to dissect the last season, how cool is it to see a number of guys that you played with and against your age and your draft class all making it to pro ball at the same time?
You know, it's really, you reflect on it and know the guys, and you realize the guys who you played with and the great group of not only athletes that they are, but people that they are, because it takes, you know, a good person to get to that next level. And just to know that the talent that came out of this area my year is the talent, you know, kind of like no other around, I'd say, the country, or I'd say at least in the Northeast. But, you know, I couldn't be happier for those guys. You know, they deserve it as much as anybody does, you know, as much as I do, as much as anyone does. We all worked together. We all worked hard. And, you know, it's great to see that it did pay off in the long run. And we're all, like I said, living our dream as we were, you know, that we had since we were a kid.
Branden Cogswell, Shenendehowa graduate, Oakland A's farmhand, on his way to spring training right now to get that extra work in for the 2015 season. Branden, good luck. We'll be talking to you throughout the summer, I'm sure.
That sounds good. Thank you very much.